6 units per army limit. The Khan is not. However, I anticipate at least one of my guys dying here, so we brought in a little insurance to protect our valuable units. So I'm going to be rolling 5 battle dice. The Death Worm, and neither of us will be rolling the favor die. The Khan will be rolling 1 die. So, Khan, oh, I didn't set the board. So I am inflicting 2 casualties, and the Khan is not inflicting any to begin. And I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 strength. So obviously it's going to be an easy victory here. And that is, the Khan got all the way up to 3. We're really proud of you and your little outpost. We wind up with 13. We will go ahead and spend 3 stars here to gain a favor. Got to stay ahead of the Khan. And we did 2 additional strength. We'll inflict another casualty. And we win the fight. We get 2 victory points for that. Both of his guys are destroyed. He did not inflict any casualties, but our logistics can't quite handle this population. So we have to go down to 6. So we lose 2 grunts anyway. And that would be it. The Khan goes, gains a favor, moves back over here. And it's actually, I should have put him over here. So he moves here, and now that moves. My bad. Okay, so back to me. Time to smash some of these guys. Oh, ironically, the move action that is up is traverse. How wonderful. All right, so we're going to take Scout off the scavenge pile, and we will gain a glory, which pushes us up here, which we love. We get to recruit 2 in value in each of our home territories, and we will gladly do so. Yes. Then we will scavenge from here, taking 6 meat, and we get to move 2 units. So I'm going to go ahead and move these 2 to here, and the action is now complete. I can purchase an upgrade or an advantage, which I gladly will, and we'll get ourselves some slag armor. So that, we will pay a tax of 1 to put it in this slot. So now slag armor reduces the casualties inflicted on us in each battle by 1. And that's a good thing, because we are very shortly going to be getting into the region where the Khan starts hitting back a lot harder. And we'll see how that goes. So my turn is done, and the Khan gains a favor, moves back here. All right, so time for some business. Let's see, we don't want to do that. We do want to do that. So we're going to traverse, which will take the favor for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we will cross the wasteland into here, closing in on that space. We will pay the 1 resource, or no, we will not pay the resource because we get to ignore it because we're traversing. All right, that is complete. Now we get to have a battle here. We'll be rolling 3 battle dice as we have grunts, brutes, and raiders, and the death worm die. We are in fact favored, so that's very exciting. And the Khan will be rolling 1 battle die. So they have a strength of 2, no casualties, and we have 1, and that is, here's the Khan's roll. He rolls 2 stars. That's going to sting a little bit. And that is 6 stars, so we've got lots of goodies there. And so the Khan moves up to 2 casualties. His dice are resolved. We gain a resource of our choice. At this point, I'm not so sure we care too much. I guess we'll take a scrap, but not necessarily looking at another advantage at the moment. All right, and then we will gain a strength and a casualty, which we have tons of strength, and easily crush the forces of the Khan. We gain another blessing, so now we do have to inflict 2 casualties on our unit, which will be reduced by 1 due to our awesome slag armor. Oops, wrong territory. So that one is the one that dies, and there we go. So here we go. Those units are removed. Khan's turn. Now this is scary, so I'm tempted to go ahead and start skipping turns. Because if the Khan gets to recruit here, he's going to get to recruit 6 units into the Citadel. And I don't know if I want to deal with that. So I don't know if I can stop it forever. But let's see. That's a lot. We will go ahead and try. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just paid 5 victory points. Rather than Khan getting to take a turn, I immediately take another turn. Now it's important to note that I can't take another turn immediately and then also replace cards on the bottom of the deck, which is coming and I'm about to do. So here we go. Let's see. We will go ahead and march. And I can march. Ooh, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. So March does not actually have favor or glory, but that's okay. We're going to march into this corner here, and we're going to try to do it with just enough units to win, where they die and we don't have to move any out. So I'm looking at the Khan situation, and I see 5 strength, 1 casualty, and he's going to be rolling 3 dice, but he's also got 2 bastions. So the question is, what can I get to 7 strength with? I'm in pretty good shape. I've got tons of blessings. So I think, since I don't have to hold it, we're going to move in with, we definitely want casualties inflicted on the Khan, because we don't want these guys retreating to the center of the board. So we're going to move in with our 3 raiders, 1 grunt, and 1 brute. So that takes us to 2, 4, 6 strength. So the Khan is actually getting stronger than us, but we have several casualties. All right, we are currently favored. We get the Death Worm die, and we get 3 other dice. The Khan will be rolling 3 dice this time. Let's see how this goes. Okay, those are all +1 strength results for the Khan, so he just got to 10 strength. That's a little, it's certainly not impossible, but it could be costly. All right, so we'll gain 2 strength, going to 8. We need 2 more strength, and we can get there. So we'll go ahead and use the favor die to gain a resource of our choice, which will be a scrap. We will apply this here, gaining 1 strength and 1 casualty. And then we will assign this here, gaining 2 strength, which puts us at 11. And we still have 2 stars. We'll just put that there and gain another strength. It is what it is. And we crush him. We're going to gain 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then our casualties we're actually going to take is reduced by 1 from the slag armor. So we're actually not going to lose any guys. That's crazy. I was expecting it to be a total bloodbath. Whereas we are actually going to kill all 4 of the Khan's units, which is good, but we made a slight miscalculation. So we got the casualties right, but we had a few more units than we needed. So now we're at the end of the turn. However, because the game ends in the same way, is triggered in the same way, I only have 1 move card left in the deck. So I'm going to spend 5 victory points, going to 11, and I'm going to place 1 random card from each discard pile under the appropriate deck. And so this is being done to stave off the end of the game. Now, of course, the way to earn victory points in this case, in most cases, will be to continue winning battles. And I certainly intend to do that. However, I feel like I've drugged my feet a little more than usual in this one, so it could be close. And I'll tell you this, many times it takes more than one attack on the Citadel at the end of the game to close out the deal. All right, so because I spent that way, I do not get to take another turn immediately. The Khan gains a glory, and he recruits. He always recruits the most strength possible. So all 6 of these points of recruit go in the Citadel, which just made life a lot tougher. And his turn is done. This moves over here. All right, so we got to get our guys where our guys need to be. Man, I guess that's a recruit. That's the last real problem child zone there. So we're going to take a fortify, add a bastion to a territory. So I'm going to go ahead and put one right here. And I get to recruit equal to the number of bastions I control. Now, I currently control 6 bastions. I don't have anywhere near that many units, but I do have 4, and I'm going to put all of them here. Because we're going to try to use grunt power only to knock out this corner. And we'll see how that goes. All right, so the Khan takes his turn. He gains 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Unlocking another blessing for the end of the game and moving back over here. Ah, boy. So that's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to rally, which means we are going. We could recruit 2 as part of the rally action, but we don't have any available units to recruit at the moment. Although I feel like the Khan's going to create a few here in a minute. So we're just going to send all those grunts in, get them mangled. And the Khan has a strength of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, plus 2 bastions, 8. Ridiculous. I have a strength of 6 in grunts alone. Khan is inflicting 1 casualty. I'm not inflicting any. And in this case, I will only be rolling 1 die plus the Deathworm die, because I do not have a combined arms army here. And the Khan will be rolling 3. So we will see how this goes. Currently, it's within reach, but it could go very bad. So, oh, man, I think he's going to get us. Come on, stars. Oh, wait, we got lots of blessings. I think we'll be okay. Whew. All right, so the Khan gains 1 strength, going to 9. He gains 3 casualties, going to 4. And nobody gets that. So I'm going to spend 3 of my blessings to choose the facing of one of my, because I need 3 strength, yes. So I'm going to turn this to 2 fists. That gets me to 8. Then I'm going to spend 3 more to turn this to a 2-star result, which I assign here. And that gives me 1 additional strength and 1 casualty. It gets me to 9, tying the Khan, and 1 casualty. So that results in me winning the battle. It was close, but that is 5 victory points. That's good news. We're going to need those soon. Increasing the casualties I inflict by 1 for winning the battle. The Khan hits me for 4, so that's fairly efficient because I won't have to march guys out of there. I'll probably just leave them be unless the right card comes up. And I kill 2 of his units, which he chooses grunts to lose. And then these guys relocate to the middle, which is starting to get crowded. All the defeated units that are going to be looking for payback gathering at the Citadel in defense of this false Khan. We are the true Khan, and we will teach him a valuable lesson. We hope. All right, so that is the conclusion of that action. I am going to spend another 5 victory points, going to 11, to again put cards back on the bottom because we are heading towards that final showdown. Now, it's important to note that the game will not end instantly if I run out of those cards. It will simply trigger the Khan's Fury. And much like in the basic game, then we just start moving these down. And we'll score bastions accordingly. The Khan will, of course, score the bastions that he has. And then we'll finish round. Well, what is a round? A round is the player turn and the Khan turn. As if I continue spending 5 VP to take another turn, the round hasn't finished because the Khan has not gotten a turn. Once the Khan gets his next turn, then we move to the last round, which behaves in the same way. The step after the last round is the game end. Now, we don't actually get to the game end unless the Khan takes his turn in the last round. Now, needless to say, if that happens, the Khan has amassed sufficient forces to crush your puny uprising, and he destroys you and you lose. However, if before that point you successfully win a battle in the Citadel, you do not have to kill all of the units, you simply have to win the battle, then you are victorious and the game ends immediately. So if any of these decks were to be depleted, it would simply trigger the Khan's Fury and move the game that much closer to the end. So I'm prolonging that for the moment, but pretty soon I'm going to be willing to let it go because just like in the standard game, then the decks will be reshuffled. So I won't really be worried about running out of actions at that point. I will be a little bit worried if I allow the Khan's Fury to trigger the end game too soon. So let's see. That means it's the Khan's turn, and this should move back. He gains a favor. Alright, so now we're going to need to get some favor before the Khan, because we don't want him having another bastion. So back to me. This moves here. I take a charge. Oh, looky there. We've got a lovely, lovely march as the next action. So we will gain 3 blessings. And that's going to be really, really good. So all of our guys are trapped there for the moment. All right, so we're going to explode out of here into these 2 zones. We'll use our march out of that bastion on the next turn. We'll gain a favor. Oh, that is so bad. The Khan is going to get a favor before we do. We'll see. Maybe there's a way around that. So, how do we deal? I've already gained that. I've already gained that. I've moved. That turn is done. I will pay 5 victory points and take another turn. We will march. So I have now taken the last move action, which is going to activate the Khan's Fury at the end of the turn. So I will march from a bastion I control. So I march to here. Then I will march across the wasteland. It is time to invade the Khan's region. Now, of course, I'm still bound by the army size limitation, so I don't want too many guys to survive in excess of 6. Oh, we will come into here. We definitely want our raiders because we want to inflict as many casualties as possible so that the Khan cannot reinforce the Citadel with survivors. So that is 5 units. We'll go 6 units. 7, 8, 9. I think the Khan is pretty likely to inflict enough casualties to knock me down some there. So we'll go in with those units, which is a lot. I pay 1 to cross the wasteland, so looks like we're pretty much all in with that. That is 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14 strength. And I have 3 casualties. And the Khan has legit forces now. we're getting into his homeland, and this is no joke. So he has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 strength. And he is inflicting 3 casualties from the Gideon. Alright, so the Khan will be rolling 3 dice. I will be rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Neither of us are favored. And I will also be rolling the Deathworm die as per usual. So the Khan's result, let's hope for a little luck here. Okay, so we're definitely going to be winning the battle because that only gets him to 15 strength. I'm sure we can beat that. But that gives him another casualty. So we're losing, well, 3 because we do have the slag armor. We assign these 2 fists and we go to 16 strength. And we will go ahead and use 2 of our blessings to re-roll these dice right here. No stars. Okay. We're just hoping for 1. Alright, well, we'll save the blessings. We'll gain another 2 strength, which takes us to 13. And then we'll do this to gain a favor and snipe that right out from under the Khan. So that was one of the big reasons why I had to move right then. I could not tolerate any further. Let's see, we've got another casualty here. So it gets us to 4. Man, oh man, we need more than that. I am going to spend 3. Do I really want to spend 3? I think we're going to need those blessings. Alright, well, it's going to be quite a showdown in the Citadel there. So I win the fight. It takes me to inflicting 5 casualties. My slag armor reduces the Khan's casualties by 1. He's inflicting on me. The Khan had 9 units in there, so I'm going to gain 9 victory points, going to 15. The Khan, or I have to lose 3 units, so we don't actually have a lot of grunts. So we'll go ahead and lose 2 raiders and a grunt. And notice, at least that part I got right, we only have 6 units left, which is the army max. Now we apply our 5 casualties to the Khan, who of course always loses the weakest units first. This takes him down to, we get rid of the grunts, and he's got to lose 1 more. He loses a raider because it provides less power, and the other units retreat into the middle. So his force in the middle is getting ridiculous. So we've got this, and that is the end of our turn. So now the Khan is going to gain a glory. This moves back. Oh, I forgot. Because the move deck was depleted, it is now reshuffled completely and added back there. And we enact the Khan's Fury. So I'm going to gain 2 points for each bastion I control. I did not garrison my corners, which may turn out to be unwise, but that is 3, 4, 5 bastions, 10 points. It's 25. The Khan, he's going to gain 2 bastions at each place he has bastions. So 2 more get dropped into here, bringing this total to, I believe it's 5 bastions. Yes. And then he's going to score 2 points for each. That's going to be 10. So that's going to take him to 22. And he's going to gain both these for the final showdown. Okay. So now we finish the round, which I actually just did by giving the Khan his turn. So now we are in the last round. Now, of course, I'm going to be staving off the game's end with victory points, which I can do 5 times. So technically, at this point, I'm looking at 5 or 6 more turns that I can take before the game comes to its final end, one way or the other. Perhaps if I defeat the Khan before that. So I'm going to need some more units. So it's going to be a recruit. So we're going to go ahead and recruit 3 grunts to there. Then we are going to gain a glory. And we are going to then resolve the promote portion of it. Roll 2 black dice. Replace a number of your grunts with brutes or raiders equal to the number of stars rolled. We're going to use some blessings here if it doesn't go our way. And that will be 3 blessings to turn this one into a double star. So we can replace... actually, I don't need to do that because I don't have them. So we'll go ahead and keep those guys. And I will simply replace 2 of these with raiders. That's sufficient. That card is done. Now, I cannot let the round end, so I'm going to pay 5 victory points because otherwise the game would end. Now it's time to move. It's just about showdown time. Alright, so we're going to assail. And, oh, yes, definitely want to do that. We'll gain the glory here, which gives us 1 victory point for each bastion we control, which is 5, so that's going to buy us another turn, thank goodness. We're going to roll 2 dice, choose another player to inflict casualties on units of their choice equal to the stars rolled. And let's see, so I'm not going to mess with any of my blessings because we're going to need those. So 1, I don't choose the region. The Khan always chooses a region outside of the bastion first, and he chooses the weakest unit, so he's going to kill that. Or, I mean the citadel. And now I move. I pay a resource to cross. We're going to converge on this territory. And we want to send some help, but we gotta leave a guy back here in case we gotta do some recruiting to bolster up for the big showdown. So we want to make sure we keep 6 people back. We'll send 1 of the exiles. That's 3, 6, 9, 10. Very believable he could do 4 casualties, but we'll see how it goes. You know, we're going to hold 1 brute back just to be safe. All right, so here we go. Big fight before the last showdown. We're tightening our grip on the Khan. So now we have the Khan's strength. He has 3, 6, 8, 10, 11. 11 strength for the Khan. And we have 2 for Gazan, 4 with the brute, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So we are starting a little weaker than the Khan. He has 3 raiders, so starting with 3 casualties. We have 3 raiders, so starting with 3 casualties. And it's time to do the fight. So this is going to be a good one. The Khan starts with 3 dice. We are favored over the Khan, so we will be rolling the favor die. And we have just 4 dice. And the death one die. Lots of fun stuff. And the Khan, Khan adds 3 strength. He gets to 14, and he increases by 1 casualty. Alright, so we should be able to handle that. We only need to come up with 4 strength. So we're going to go ahead and gain the victory point off the blessing die. Then we are, let's see, looks like we're going to be spending some blessings. So we're going to spend 3 blessings here to turn this blank into a 2-fist. And we're going to assign that. So that's 12 strength. Then we're going to assign this here to gain 2 strength. So now we've tied. We're going to be winning the battle. We're going to go ahead and inflict an additional casualty using that and gaining a strength. And then 2 more casualties due to the death worm. So our dice are all assigned except for this one. So we'll go ahead and gain 1 more strength. And we do win. We're going to gain 9 more VP. So that's going to take us to 35. So we more time yet to lay the foundation, and that's a good thing. For winning the fight, we raise the casualties. Now, we are capped at 6. This battle board, of course, as everything you see here is prototype, late stage, but it's what we sent to the media people and reviewers and whatnot. And so now we win the fight, we gain the victory points, we inflict the casualties we take, which is 4, reduced by 1 for the slag armor, and we'll lose 3 grunts. Looks like we sent the right number of troops. We're going to punch the Khan for 6 casualties. That's great news. We really need to hit him hard. So that's going to be 3 grunts. Oh, he only has 2 grunts there, yeah, because of the assail. So we're actually going to eat into his brutes as well. That is very, very helpful. The rest retreat into the citadel. So we are at final showdown time, and I gotta tell you, we're gonna need more units. I will pay 5 victory points to stave off the end of the round, and we need to recruit. And oh, that's funny, we could do that, invade and start a fight, but I don't. Maybe. All right, that's kind of funny. In fact, this is really funny and very helpful. So I'm going to invade, so it's a recruit action. I am +1 recruit point and may recruit directly into enemy-controlled territory this turn. And so here's what we're going to do, and this is hilarious. We're going to recruit 3 grunts to here, and 1 grunt right into the middle. Now you might say, why in the world would you do that? Of course he's gonna get slaughtered. True, but I'm gonna get to roll the death worm die and potentially inflict a few casualties along the way and soften the Khan up a little bit before the real battle gets started. You know, obviously it's a freebie, but we will take it. And more importantly, it's going to knock these blessings off. So actually weaken the Khan a little bit for when I send in the real assault, which is coming next turn. Now the Khan does have 5 bastions there, so he's starting at 5 strength. And he's from there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 23. So the Khan is at 23 strength on top of the 5. So we loop around to 28. We are at 1. Oh, and he pops the 4 blessings. So he's now actually at 32.